The average score for high creative leaders is 5.2, compared to an average score of 33.7 for high reactive leaders, a 6.5 times difference. Recall that the top 10 strengths of high creative leaders are 2.3 times more endorsed than high reactive leaders, and that high creative leaders are 6 times more frequently endorsed on the differentiating strengths list. And here we see that with high reactive leaders, the liabilities are 6.5 times more prevalent. We notice that the top 10 high creative strength list is loaded with people strengths. Conversely, the top 10 high reactive liability list has to do with lousy human interactions. This list is the opposite of deep relationship and radical humanity. It is also highly unlikely to inspire purposeful achievement. If you want a list of how to disrespect, discourage, and disempower people, this is a good one. In the way that antimatter annihilates matter, these anti-relationship behaviors cancel out a leader's relationships and therefore his or her effectiveness. Further, these reactive behaviors disrupt and damage the conditions for scale, stunting the organization's growth. High reactive leaders comprise 28% of our database. From our experience, this is also true of most extended leadership teams. If your extended leadership team is comprised of 28% high reactive leadership, think about the cost of this and the missed ROI, because ineffective leadership offsets effective leadership. Case example. President Eduardo. Eduardo is the president of an organization. As you listen to the comment, see if you can identify the towering strengths that helped him get promoted into his current position, but have become non-differentiating. Also, see if you can spot the liabilities that Eduardo possesses as a leader. Eduardo is extremely intelligent and typically gets to the solution before everyone else. This is often his downfall, as he moves quickly to implementing a solution when in fact the organization is 2 steps behind him. This creates a disconnect with the team. In his role as president, he should be teaching people how to fish. Unfortunately, Eduardo gets frustrated with the lack of responsiveness from the organization, and as a result, hands over the fish. This can create insecurity and frustration, with people feeling they cannot live up to his expectations. Eduardo does not leverage his team to create the desired vision. Because he is intelligent and gets to answers faster than most, he loses patience and decides to do all the work himself. By doing so, he misses out on the input of others and fails to garner support for the vision. When he becomes quickly entrenched in his position, he often ignores valid input and alternative points of view. Eduardo thinks he knows best. He does not listen to others, and he does not inspire confidence in his team. As a result, his professional arrogance creates more of a dictatorial leadership style, which in turn produces adversarial relationships internally. Eduardo versus everyone. Over time, this outcome will also spread to external partners. In the end, we will continue to lose talent, which will eventually impact business performance. Like many leaders we meet and work with worldwide, Eduardo is a classic example of a brilliant man reaching the limits of his development. He is facing his development gap. We suspect his leadership effectiveness has capped out or is steadily decreasing as a result. While this comment does not provide us with Eduardo's business context, we can assume he is in over his head, under stress, and defaulting to reactivity, which undermines his effectiveness. The combination of non-differentiating strengths, however towering, and the reactive default behaviors that show up under pressure, puts Eduardo at his limits to scale. Too much depends on him, and his working more, harder, and faster will make things worse. Eduardo is not merely challenged to develop additional competencies. He has reached the limits of reactive leadership and is challenged to evolve into a creative leader. The first condition